Barbershop Podcast 48, and it's really great, and I'm talking with my buddies sitting in Box of Studio. Tell you, baby, that's the way we go. I'm having so much fun.
We've been drinking.
Shh. Ixnay on the ooth tray.
All right.
All right. Barbershop Podcast, episode number 48. The fun rolls and rolls and rolls. Unlike our new intern, but hey, I'll get to that later. We have a new intern, you know. Jordan Stiles is in the house tonight.
Let's get him on camera.
He's coming on camera. I was looking for a really, and don't get me the wrong way, eager intern. You know, I wanted someone who was willing to chop that cow into steaks. And I'm telling you, we got some cow here at Barbershop Podcast that needs to be chewed up. Jordan, are you up for the task?
Oh, I'm ready.
You ready?
I like some fat meat.
I like, you know, it's like you cut that thing up, it's all going to be good. Let's get smoky at Barbershop Podcast. Ryan Cannon.
Yeah.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. You know, we had another one of those.
How much have you been drinking? It's not that much.
Not much.
Just a little bit. And it's kind of like Rat Pack, you know? It's like having a tumbler, cold ice, and 40 Creek whiskey made by Kittling Ridge in Grimsby, Ontario.
Yeah.
Not Hamilton, but like Hamilton's retarded little brother. You know, like I was born in Grimsby, so I can say that.
I don't know if you're allowed to say that.
I am born in. I got it on my birth certificate. It says you can abuse your family all you want.
Well,
they have to love you. And I love you guys. And you know who else I love? Tonight's guest.
Aww.
Oh, it's so true.
Aww.
It's Trevor Howard. And Trevor Howard is one of these guys who exudes love, confidence, you know, and makes life worth living. You go around. Yeah, you know what? It's like, it's the pants say it all. You know, it's like when the pants come down there, it's like that. I like the way that guy walks. And the fact he can even walk in those pants, it's like amazing. So for you to come into our homoerotic environment like this, wearing those pants, I think it's absolutely perfect.
Excellent.
On a drinking night, too.
Excellent.
You know, so how you doing, Trev?
I'm doing great. I brought restraints. So
you
we're
did?
Good. I did.
We don't like the padded stuff either.
No,
right?
no. There's no
hardcore.
No, it's hardcore.
No, but you're not afraid of having a few piercings or like you know, you style in music and being an artist and like throwing it up on the wall. It's all a part of what you do, right? Have you always been a weirdo kid, like right from the get go?
Yeah, man.
You got to tell me your best story that your mom's like, you know, when you were 3, you did this. What was it? Go.
Wow. Well, when I was in kindergarten, one of the first days of school, I wore one of my mother's scarves to school. So yeah. I got started early.
And you were frisked.
And I was definitely confusing to those around me.
And you still love a scarf, don't you?
I do love a scarf, yeah.
I love a style. And as far as, you know, and we talked about this beforehand, any artist, anyone loves who lives in that world, you know, detests to sit and stew in the same place. So there's an evolution and there's a change and there's constant, you know, kind of a rebirth, as it were. You know, that's the sort of thing that I imagine that you embraced from early on, or was there a lot of years where you were feeling, I should be like everyone else?
I felt pretty awkward a lot of the time. I mean, I was a little guy. I was always the smallest kid in class, about a foot shorter than the shortest girl, and always a little on the outside of the cool crowd. So I was always sort of struggling to find my identity in those days.
And people don't realize.
But I wasn't afraid of it at the same time. I wasn't afraid to take an ass kicking for my decision for wearing leather pants to school. You know?
And that in your family, like you come from a place. Tell me about your mom and your dad.
That's a bit
I'd rather not, Kevin.
No. That's a bit of a dichotomy. My early childhood was broken home-ish. So broken home-ish usually means there's not much attention paid to my issues, right? So, but yeah, later on, like during the more formative years, it was my parents were very fundamentalist Christian. So to want to be in rock and roll and to wear makeup to school and to ask to borrow my mom's jewelry and such was
frightening.
Yeah, it was a bit frightening to everyone around me. So yeah.
And having strength and convictions at an early age is a tough gig, isn't it?
Well, you know what? I knew at 4 what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Maybe even earlier, but 4 is the earliest memory
Do
I
you
have.
remember what is that memory? Was it a lot of people cite the Beatles or the first time they saw Kiss, or like they do remember that first time? Was it a specific event?
I have an older brother and an older sister, and they are very opposite. My older brother was like a stoner and a rocker. So I got like Thin Lizzy and Alice Cooper and
coming out of this bedroom,
Frank Zappa, and I loved it, and I would sing along with our little record player. And then my sister was she was younger than him and a little more into the pop thing. So from her, I got like the Grease soundtrack with like John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John, and Donny Osmond.
Yeah.
So I sort of had, and I loved both.
Yeah.
But I used to be the entertainment at my sister's pool parties, and I would just turn a sledgehammer upside down and sing the hits into my little sledgehammer. And I knew as soon as I turned the sledgehammer upside down, I knew that's what I wanted to do.
And at no point you felt someone was in your group that you needed to sustain you, looking at you going, kid, this is just a Rubes game. You can't do it. Or you weren't aware of it, or you didn't care.
There was resistance for sure, but no, I didn't care.
Yeah.
Didn't care. I just kept pushing through. Like I said, wore my mom's scarf to school, so
yeah.
I didn't care. I'd take the lickings. I'd go home with a fat lip and a black eye and count it as a pretty good day usually, yeah.
What was your first instrument? Like, when did you get like a real, not some sort of thing you made yourself, but when it's like someone said, okay, you seem to give a shit here.
That, you know what? That didn't happen until a lot later for me. That didn't happen until I was 17. I picked up the guitar. Prior to that, I took some piano lessons, and I took voice lessons starting from when I was around 10.
Yeah.
And that was also fodder for ass kickings on the way home from school. Everybody else is going to football practice, and
you're going to sing.
Where are you going, Trev? Oh, I'm going to singing lessons. Goose girl, come and mind your geese. Yeah, no, it's just, it was always what I wanted, and there was a lot of resistance along the way, but I just, kept pushing through, man.
Kept pushing and kept doing it. And I think that people, when they love music, and we did touch on this when we were talking before about how important music is, and that it gets undervalued because people refuse to acknowledge the incredibly complex thing that it does to someone's mind, the power that it has over someone's mind. So a lot of people want to manipulate it and demean it and diminish it and make it kind of crapola. And the people who are truly affected by music see the power of it. And, I don't want to be all conspiracy, minded, but I think there's a lot of people who very much don't want the next great singer-songwriter out there. When did you write, or when did you start writing, or when did you think that, I want to make my own songs?
I started writing pretty young, probably at around 10 or 11. Started writing my own little lyrics and my own little melodies, and I kept them to myself. I didn't really share them with anybody. Every once in a while I would share them with a family member, but it would be, it would be received with a great deal of like, geez, here we go.
That's great.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
Chase your dream. Yeah.
So I started trying pretty young. But I didn't actually write my first like song that had like verse, chorus, bridge,
it was put together like a cool
chorus
car.
Out. Yep, that happened when I was 17. Yeah. And as soon as that started,
which is still pretty young. That's in the butter zone, I think.
A little bit. I felt like I was a little bit behind the 8 ball at that point. Yeah. I met a guy, actually, he's another Hamilton singer-songwriter. We worked at a camp together. His name's Jacob Moon. Do you know?
Oh, yeah, we were speaking about Jacob Moon tonight. And just like, he's one of those people, when you see the first time, it cuts through all the bullshittery, and it's like, that guy's meant to do that.
I can tell you this. I've known him, we met at 17. When he was 17, he was that guy. When he was 17, he was the guy who you looked at and went, what in the hell is going on here? Like, he's a mofo.
Yeah. Big
time. And we've been friends ever since, and that's like something years, right?
Yeah. And to have someone, and for my high school, I remember there's a guy who's still an actor, there's a guy who's still a writer, there's a guy who's still a comedian. There was enough people who went out and did it and were fearless in doing it, and 30 years later they're still doing it. It's nice when someone in your circle gets it's doable.
The two of us are still doing it is pretty amazing. I mean, he's doing fantastic, but he is the one who taught me how to play guitar.
Right.
Before I met Jacob Moon, I couldn't play a chord. So he really kind of
So you were just more singing? Were you singing with anyone? Or
yeah,
did it kind of all come to birth at the same time?
Because my parents were fundamentalist Christians, and I was as well for quite a long time.
A lot of choir.
Yep. So I grew up in the church.
Yeah.
So grew up in the choir, and so I sang all the time.
Yeah.
But I had this other side of me, my dark side, which was listening to the greats. Because I can tell you right now, nothing was happening in church music that was growing me. That's for damn sure. I mean, it helped me to grow, but it wasn't growing me as an artist. So I had this other side of me that was, like searching for something greater. Yeah. And so I listened to all the greats when I was growing up. So, but it had to be a secret.
I'll say this to you, because I don't use this, but I remember it was one of those wake up moments for me.
Yeah.
And I'm not judgmental. It's like I know some beautiful religious people, and I understand the church and how it happens in this spot. But I'll be flipping around on a Sunday morning before the football's on, and if someone is into pageantry and into production, and there is a big choir and they're singing, I'll watch it. And invariably, everyone's hair is perfect, everyone's clothes is perfect, everyone's pitch is perfect, everything is perfect, but something doesn't move. There's not enough rumble for something off center to move.
Yep.
So, were you, man, it must have been tough, like consciously aware and being preached to on a regular basis. There's two sides to you, but unfortunately one's good and one's bad. When were you able to release, like when kids are gay and they're able to say, you know what, being gay is not equal being bad. Were you able to say being a musician and loving this isn't bad?
Shit. You know what? Like I felt that my whole life. Yeah. I felt my whole life like I was gay or
slow
or something
ugly.
Like there was some sort of stigma attached to me, and I didn't know what it was. Yeah. All I knew was that everyone around me pointed it out to me. Yeah. Right. To be able to sort of relate to the plight of a gay kid growing up in the 70s and 80s, absolutely. Or a slow kid, it was me somehow, but for a different reason. Right? Yeah. So, absolutely.
And I find with music, it has the fact that you have the audacity. Who do you think you are? Right. The people who you count amongst your friends who should be, that's so great that you're going for that, are the ones who immediately say you do not have the chops to do that. And as your friend, it is my job to chop your tree down.
Right, sure.
Before it grows. Yeah. And I really don't know, that's why the longer I've been in it, the more I see the people who maintain and sustain, they have my undying respect.
The more people told me I didn't have the chops or couldn't do it, it motivated me more. Yeah. I mean, it depressed me. There's a lot of times I'd spend on Sunday afternoons after church lying in my bed crying because I just felt like such a piece of shit.
You didn't match up to the criteria.
Didn't match up. However, it still motivated me to make it work.
Your first live performance that you did your own stuff, as opposed to just singing in front of someone, when was it?
That would have been, oh man. Well, okay, I have to sort of backtrack a little bit. A couple of years before I met Jacob Moon, I had this really weird rap hip hop phase where I was into breakdancing and writing raps, and I called myself Mr. Happy in the Human Beatbox. And
no, I'm giving a thumbs.
Oh,
up.
you're giving a thumbs up.
To 40, can we do
sorry.
Okay, I want to do a sample commercial. Can we go to the 2cam, Ryan?
Yes. Right. Okay.
And I'd just like to know.
Is this a 40 Creek commercial?
Yeah, we're going to do a sample commercial. This is, I think, 40 Creek could get this for $50 a week. Okay, ready?
I'm putting on my 40 Creek face. Is that all right, Jordan? Am I good?
That's about accurate.
And this part of the Barbershop podcast has been brought to you by 40 Creek Whiskey, Grimsby, Ontario.
I take 40 shots a day.
Close enough to Hamilton, 40 shots a day. No. If you're at home and you have a big, nice fat
and I live down by the creek.
That's not a good commercial.
I don't think that's what they're talking about.
I live in a van down by the creek, and I take 40 shots a day.
We'll be back and we'll do it like Johnny Carson did it in 1963. A little slicker than that. But, you have to say that this is a product that you can't advertise on TV and radio, but you can advertise it on the internet. And it is wonderful. I think it saved a lot of marriages and children over the years, don't you, Ryan? Coming from an Irish man.
Yeah. Saved and ruined, maybe.
Saved and
Yeah.
What's the split on that? Do you figure the over under?
60-40. 60-40 ruined.
60. Okay, we want people to call in on the over under. Irish families ruined or saved by whiskey.
Every sip I take is ruining my marriage.
Somewhat.
That's all good. Okay, so
I have to mention product because that's part of what I do. I love cross promotion. I became aware of you because of a project that you're working on. I'd like you to kind of do a little fast forward between a story that you never really completed about your first gig.
Let's
you can
finish
use
it.
Don't use it as the beginning of the story and tell what you've done between the very first gig and when you're working with
the
Ghosts of Memphis, which is what we're going to hear and sing and play today.
Okay.
Go.
Where am I going?
Okay, your first.
How am I tying that into rap and rock and?
You're like, well, I played with Jimmy Johnson, the famous race car driver, and we had a band, and then we got together, and his brother turned out to be a smoking bass player, and he introduced me to. So and then I met him, and then Ghosts of Memphis started.
You want me to take you from Mr. Happy and the Human Beatbox to Ghosts of Memphis?
So were you like a little punk rapper?
But yeah, I tried to.
I like that. Okay. I've had two of them on my show. Got two of my favorite, Mackinac McDonald and Lee Reed. They were punk rappers who had to deal with morons all the time.
This is back before beatboxing was like a thing, though.
What was the thing? Like, who hooked you into that genre?
I don't know. I think I just met a kid with baggy pants.
Yeah.
And I had no outlet. So I started writing rap music. And like I said, I was into a little bit of the breakdancing thing at the time.
So lyrics always come easy to you, or is it a struggle?
Yeah, lyrics always came easy because I was always a reader.
Yeah.
And I was always that kid who would, any album that came with lyrics, which back then, not a lot of them did. But even if there was anything to read inside the record jacket, I'd be that kid, right? Like I'm reading everything. So yeah, lyrics came easy. I liked Shakespeare in grade 7.
And so you made your own tapes, I guess, or like you did. And so
on a
how did you multi-track, right? So it was a 4-track TAC
4-track recorder I barely knew how to use.
Right.
Yeah, and it probably sounded like absolute hell.
But you were creating.
I was creating, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and we also had an organ in our house, and it had those ching 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 ching.
Put a microphone on that.
Put a microphone on that. Record that for one track, and then rap some shit.
A song, yeah,
bust some rhymes over that shit.
And that is like what it's all about. No, seriously, do that shit. Don't talk about it. Figure out how to do something and do it.
Absolutely did it. However, I can say this: what opened up my life to real songwriting is when I learned how to play "Hello" by Lionel Richie on the organ.
Really
changed everything.
Yeah.
Honestly, because I learned how to dissect a song.
Can I say this in a Lionel Richie voice?
I was hoping you would.
If you play Lionel Richie, get some pussy.
Well,
is that why you did it?
You know what?
I'm not going to say no, Kevin.
I'm
not going to say yes, Kevin.
There wasn't a chance that I would get a date with a hot girl in grade 11 if
yes,
I didn't play the guitar.
You knew you were talented, and that was your one shot.
That was my one shot, my one opportunity.
Yeah, it ain't going to be some crappy defensive tackle.
To quote a philosopher.
Exactly. We love to quote philosophers.
You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity
don't get in an argument about who's
once in a
great.
Lifetime.
I made someone said, who would have thought blah blah blah. The Eminem would be kid from Detroit would be running the show, and someone said,
"Guy's a motherfucker."
Yeah, he's great. But someone had the line that said, Eminem is not qualified to run a tub, and I liked it because it was funny. I'm sorry. Your opinions are good, and funny is good.
And funny is good.
And
funny is good.
And if you got to wear the M badge on your, it's like I'll shoot you except I'm Canadian and a pussy. It's like fuck off.
It's all good.
So, image and style. It's part of music, right? Was that always one of the things that was intoxicating to you?
Yeah, big time. And I always felt like there was a little bit of a disconnect between what I thought I wanted my image to be and the music I was playing.
Right.
Because I've always sort of, like, I've been in a punk band, and I've been in, like, cock rock bands, and I've been in country bands, and I've been in Christian bands.
Yeah.
And I always felt like there was a disconnect between how I wanted to look and what I was going to give to you. and I think there still is. Like, I mean, generally, I'm a singer-songwriter. Like, you know, like I'm a really mellow guy who plays acoustic guitar songs and sings love songs to make girls cry. But I think I look like I do lines of cocaine off hookers,
but that's okay because you get to feel that vicarious buzz that inspires you to go on, right? Because it's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough, and if you don't buy into it, you know, you can't really be Johnny Main Street. You can't wear some stupid ass golf shirt like this and get away with it.
I wear what I feel like wearing when I wake up every morning.
Yeah,
and sometimes that's a pair of jogging pants and a t-shirt with mustard stains and. Sometimes it's
but not when you perform.
Sometimes it's Dolce & Gabbana leather pants that cost me 7 mortgage payments.
So you have to wear them because every time you wear them, they get cheaper. I know.
Exactly.
It's so true.
It's all good.
All right. So tell me about the Ghosts of Memphis.
Ghosts of Memphis.
You know, it's like we call it alt country. You could call it roots. You could call it blues roots country. You could call it
alt country roots blues.
It's something
singer
that
songwriter
should be on your turntable that you
what I call it is awesome.
Is awesome, and there's a hard copy. It's available in town. Dr. Disc and Cheapies.
You said hard copy.
Yeah, and that made you giggle.
Yes, yeah, you can get it at Dr. Disc. You can also download it at iTunes. We're on every pretty much every distribution system on the interwebs. You can find us. Amazon, RDO,
that's
you know,
good,
you'll find us.
That's close to perfect.
We're everywhere. Hey, that's pretty amazing.
I never had a place to
You know
put
what? I'm
the
making
CD.
it stand
We gotta
up right
rig
now with
something
my
up now.
superpowers.
He's on the wrong side, though.
It's on the wrong side.
Yeah. There we go.
So yeah, Ghosts of Memphis. Is that what you want to talk about?
Yeah. I'm sorry, we're getting stupid. But
Yeah,
I'd
a
like to
little
know about Ghosts of Memphis.
Where's the bottle of 40 Creek? Is that right?
Yeah, the intern can go. You know, up. It's in the freezer.
During the break.
Freezer. No, okay.
Okay, so Ghosts of Memphis. I got to
go.
tell you this. This is important. So when I was a solo guy,
right.
I used to open for lots of wonderful people. You know, like got a chance to open for well, people. Doesn't matter who.
Yes,
Let's
it's better when we say
That's
people
gay.
because then we can get mean and nobody gets mad.
So, but I had the opportunity to open up a few shows for Brian Byrne of I Mother Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, after the show, we'd hang out by the bar, have some drinks, and I met this guy named Gerry Finn, who was playing guitar for Brian at the time.
He sounds Irish.
He is Newfoundlander.
Oh, that's even better.
Yes, even better. And so Gerry and I met and connected, and we talked and exchanged numbers, and we'd run into each other here and there. We talked about playing together. And fast forward like 3 or 4 years, we were sitting in his living room one day, and we just went, man, let's put out a record. So we started writing that moment, and Ghosts of Memphis was born right there with Gerry Finn.
And did you feel it was like this love affair? This guy so gets where I'm coming from at the right place and time.
Well, you know what? It's funny because we had spent countless hours prior to that moment where we said, let's do this, listening to music and
describing
talking about
kind
music,
of music we love,
talking about
how
our
you would do
lives,
it.
you know, and going, wow, wouldn't it be neat to work together one day, and then him going his way and me going mine.
Yeah.
And then that night we just went, let's do this project.
Yeah.
And so that's what the Ghosts of Memphis is. And this is going to be a lifelong project.
Right.
The Ghosts of Memphis. Not sure where it's going to take us.
You can't be married to it 100% of the time, but it is your main thrust.
So I still do a lot of solo stuff, and Gerry just did some. He was in a band, a little Canadian band called the Killer Dwarfs.
Yeah, no, they're just a little tiny one, and then Ryan,
little tiny band.
Ryan, no, it's like they were, and it was like it was part of their shtick, and it was like they were fearless.
Absolutely.
So it's like we're short.
So they've just done their 25-year. Yeah. They did a big U.S. tour. So Gerry's been doing that for the last 8 or 9 weeks. And so while he's been away, I've just been writing new songs, getting ready for the next Ghosts of Memphis project. Yeah. So, Yeah,
and I'm going to tell you, when Killer Dwarves had their video, if it was just the fact that these guys, and trust me, like everyone in U2 is 5'2". You know, everyone in both bands, because a guitar scale doesn't change.
That's right.
It's 25 inches. So you can tell how big anyone is by looking at a guitar. You know, it's a 25-inch neck, right? So you do the math. So the fact that these guys are like 4 inches shorter than Bono, fuck that. You know, it means nothing, right?
Absolutely.
But they were fearless and awesome, and they had
One of
a
the
career,
greatest
and they
bands, man.
still have a career because they were
Sure do.
awesome. You know, and
They sure do.
they're still awesome.
And you know what? Like in the late 80s and early 90s, I loved the Killer Dwarfs.
Yeah.
So to be able to, you know, like run in the same circles as these guys is.
I'm sorry. I just said that they were like 4 foot. 10,
They're
10
actually
or
none of them
something.
are really small. Like
No,
Daryl,
they're
the
not.
drummer, is like he's a
I think
really
that-
tall guy.
because they're always hunched over when they play. I think that's the thing, and it's hair.
But Russ is not he's not a big guy.
Either way, they're
Russ
awesome.
is not a big guy.
They're freaking awesome.
But Jerry's average sized,
you know,
and I'm more suited to be a dwarf, really.
yeah. And you know what? At the end of the day, you need the dwarves need the ogres, and the ogres need the dwarves. And well,
Right.
we're gonna work on Jordan. You know, he's very young and very thin, but we were both young and thin, weren't we, Ryan? You remember those young thin days?
Yeah, I
Kinda. Most of the years I was thin was the years I was having the most fun. So I don't really
Exactly.
remember them that much.
Gotta
But
go
I do recall. I've seen the pictures.
I've seen the pictures, so
I used to have a lot of hair too.
it worked out that
Maybe
way.
we should post that
Yeah.
on the page.
Okay,
Picture
we'll do
me
that
with
for the
hair.
1
Yeah,
year
the
anniversary.
Yeah,
after
let's.
picture.
Yeah,
I'd love
Can
to see all of you with hair.
Yeah.
I had it was only 3 years ago I lost my hair, so
You know what? And it's gone forever.
Yeah.
Don't try to woo it back.
Oh,
It's,
fuck.
It's worse
No.
than an old girlfriend.
Yeah,
If you
no.
try to
Yeah.
woo your hair back, it's expensive and it ends badly.
she was a bitch anyway.
Exactly. Fucking high maintenance. All right.
Totally high maintenance.
Ghosts of Memphis.
Ghosts of Memphis.
We're going to play Jean Tonton Coeur.
Can I tell you a bit about this
I
song
want
first?
you to tell me about Jean Tonton Coeur.
Okay, so this was actually the first song that Jerry and I wrote, and it was the night that we said, let's do this project, and I started singing this phrase, J'entends ton cœur, which is the only damn French I know.
And what does that mean? Is it sexy?
It means I can hear your heart.
That's sweet.
It's pretty damn sweet, wouldn't you say?
Yeah,
Chicks-
that'll get you some. If you
chicks
can
dig
back
that
her
shit.
up. Yeah.
So Jerry's like, I know this girl who can help us finish writing the song. And so I don't know why I just said that with
Reached out
like a
to
really
her.
bad French accent.
I don't know because
Hello, why am I talking like this? So Jerry used to play with David Usher as well.
Right.
And in David Usher's band was a girl named Kim Bingham, who's from, I was going to say Van Dam 3000, but it's called Brand Van 3000.
even better.
And so Jerry called her
I'm
right
starting
away
up a
and
cover
said,
band right now calling Van
Van
Dam
Dam
3000. Yeah. And we'll do
No.
splits on stage at the end of the night.
I think it should be Van Dam 2,999. Anyways, so Jerry called her and said, we need help writing the rest of the song. And so this is our first like collaboration
Don't punch our mic again.
with, I know, sorry about that.
That's why we soften it up. He's got hard knuckles, doesn't he, Ryan? I mean, seriously, he can do some damage.
God, that's disgusting. So Kim Bingham from Brand Van 3000 is a collaborator on this song.
Cool.
And she sings the French
And she
parts.
actually came over that night and wrote it.
She didn't come. She was
already there. She was sleeping on the bedroom. Come on, he was banging
No,
her.
I
Tell
can't.
the whole story.
No. We can't. No, we can't go there. I respect her. She's a wonderful person.
Okay, I feel
This
awful
can't go over
for
the
saying that
airwaves.
because I was thinking about
No,
funny.
it's fine. I was thinking about it too.
Funny.
No, it's very
I
funny.
forgot there
and
was a
sexy.
person.
So, anyways, let's get back to the song, sir.
Okay, sorry.
I can't believe I have to direct this
You have
interview.
to direct the interview, you know.
Jeez.
Jean Tonton Coeur.
J'entends ton cœur, I can hear your heart. So Kim collaborated with us, and she wrote a French verse in this song, and she also sings it.
Beautiful.
And her voice is beautiful. So this is J'entends ton cœur, I Can Hear Your Heart, our first song that we wrote together as Ghosts of Memphis.
Excellent on barbershoppodcast.com.
What would you say if I told you I love you? What would you do if I said it again? How would you feel if right now I kissed you? Would you reach for your gun or reach for my hand? J'entends ton cœur, I can hear your heart.
would you go if I told you you'd move me? Would you stay with me now if my song was just right? If I gave you these words, would you take time to listen? Would you curse the next morning or bless our first night? J'entends ton cœur, I can hear your heart. J'entends ton cœur, I can hear your heart.
Beautiful stuff from Ghosts of Memphis. We have Trevor Howard here, who is such a huge part of Ghosts of Memphis. No, really, seriously.
Well,
I'm trying to get it to fit in the shtick. There we go. This is a CD that you can buy a hard copy of at Dr. Disc and at Cheapies, and you know what? I imagine at one
Everywhere.
of...
You can find it anywhere.
Yeah, it's on iTunes, and we're going to have a number of links at barbershoppodcast.com. You're going to click on, you're going to say, this is a guy that I dig, this is music that I dig. And to prove that he just doesn't, you know, make it up on a computer, that it comes from the heart and soul, he's going to do one right here in the studio. So without any further ado, because we enjoyed chit-chatting so much, we're going to get a little Trevor Howard live right here at Boxo Studio at barbershoppodcast.com.
It's a song called Least Favorite Lie. My favorite mistake and my least favorite lie. If heaven's at stake, then hell's my delight. It's a small price to pay, 'cause I pay when I die. And what I would not give to be yours tonight, and what I would not steal in broadest daylight,
'cause it cut out my tongue. I swear I'll do it tonight, so that I don't have to speak my least favorite line. One last cigarette before I go home, and pack one more regret into this heart of stone. It's as hard as it gets to leave you here alone. What I would not give to be yours tonight, and what I would not steal in broadest daylight. I'd cut out my tongue. Babe, I'll do it tonight, so that I don't have to speak promised you would never tell the truth. My lips are sealed and you're the proof. My least favorite lie. Promised you would never tell the truth. My lips are sealed and you're the proof. My least favorite lie. What I would not give to be yours tonight, and what I would not steal in broadest daylight. I cut out my tongue. I swear I'll do it tonight, so that I don't have to speak my least favorite lie.
barbershoppodcast.com. I'm going to invoke the rarely used privilege of the Barbershop Podcast Double Shot. Blown Away by Trevor Howard. You're going to get another song.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, and it's coming right out of his arse. And this is the best because he didn't script it.
No.
It's going to come to you, and it's the one that he wants to play right now. And he may not, in his frontal lobe, know that's the one he wants to play, but trust me, the one he's going to lay down right now is the one he wants to play.
Okay.
I'm doing it to him only because he can do it. What I think is one of the great Hamilton musicians, Mr. Trevor Howard, on barbershoppodcast.com.
Thank you. A song called Water, I guess. lived by the water, but fear always kept me from learning to swim. And the fisherman's daughter would float by and wave, but my chances were thin. And oh, she's beautiful. And oh, so goddamn beautiful. So take me out to the sea, throw me into the deep. Let your love surround me as I sink like a stone. I'll leave behind flesh and bone till your love has found me. Your love has found me in the deep water. So I bought me a rowboat with 2 oars, an anchor, and a map to my dream. And I'm soaked through this raincoat, and dry ground is farther than ever is seen. Oh, it's beautiful. And oh, it's so damn beautiful. So take me out to the sea, throw me into the deep. Let your love surround me as I sink like a stone. I'll leave behind flesh and bone till your love has found me. Your love has found me in the deep water. All the things that fear invents fill an ocean of apathy. Not a word in my defense. Or can you redeem me? Or can you redeem me? So take me out to the sea, throw me into the deep. Let your love surround me as I sing like a stone. I'll leave behind flesh and bone till your love has found me. Your love has found me in the deep water. In the deep water.
Much more than a golf clap for Trevor Howard. Trevor Howard here at Boxo Studio. If you get a chance to see him live, do it. There's an incredible number of singer-songwriters who play live. They work by going out and starting their day at 9, well, probably like 7:30, 8 p.m. You know, They go and they lug their gear, they get down there, and it's no different than going out to a dinner or a show. If there's somewhere that features live music and you like this show and there's hundreds of people who watch this show, go out, support the people who run the establishments that take that financial hit to feature live music. They want to know that people appreciate that. And, you know, that's the real deal. And I tell you, you know, it's captured. Really beautiful. And, you know, grab a seat. You know, we'll chat a bit and maybe get back to some of the kind of cool stuff. You know, Ryan, you know, you've been a producer, you know, an engineer for a long period of time. Working with artists, guys who can do it live and guys who can do it in the studio with a lot of stroking and coaxing. What's the difference? Like, what is the gold when you get someone you can just put a microphone in front of and capture magic?
Well, that's the real thing. That's the difference between the real thing and the guys who rely on the technology to put something good together. The Rebecca Blacks of the world, you know, like that's the big difference right there. If you can do it with. And, you know, that's what I was thinking halfway through that song. Like, this is what I love about this podcast. Like, we get liquored and have a good time. We're having lots of laughs. And then somebody comes out with an absolutely beautiful song like that.
Fucking
like, it was
stunner!
Like, it really just shifted the whole mood.
You know,
like, it was great.
I saw you in a chattery room, right? And to actually hear you command. And you're one of the few guys who can do it. And I've heard like amazing female vocalists do it, and they're like, I can't be loud, I can't be boisterous, but how do I make people punch someone who chats over the vocal? And you have wonderful control of spatiality. Like,
thank you.
No, but there's mechanics and there's a biorhythm to songs and songwriting. Yeah. Are you aware of that when you write, or it kind of comes out
big
after
time
the
aware?
fact?
You know, it's funny because there's a little bit of a struggle between the part of me who knows how to do it and the part of me who is still that little kid who goes, these people are gonna hate me. Yeah. They're gonna hate what I'm about to do. Why am I and so I find myself a lot of times apologetically performing.
Yeah. And that can be, and it's nice when you write it, you're by yourself, but when you're about to throw it in front of people, you're like, wow, I'm really like ripping, I'm reading my diary in front of people, and I have to disarm them within the first 5 seconds.
Yeah.
and it's like if
usually done with a Weezer song.
Yeah, exactly. and anyone who shits on musicians for being wimpy, it's like, okay, you try to read your diary,
try this, bitch.
You fucking try to read your diary in front of a room full of drunks. See how that goes. See who's wimpy. You know, and for me, I'm like, me and Ryan, you know, we're big fucking Irish monsters, but it's like we get it. You know. Like,
well, I can honestly tell you that there's a part of that is so scary to me. And then there's, for the most part, in those situations, I just feel so lucky to be able to do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That I don't give a shit what they're thinking.
What's your percentage of being in the butter zone these days? Because you know what I'm talking about. Early on, it's like, wow, I feel those magic moments, but they're in between the work. Are you feeling like most moments are like, wow, it's working?
God, that would be great. No, I wouldn't say most moments feel like it's working.
Because people don't realize you're in your head reading 4 bars ahead of what you're singing.
Yeah, sure.
You know, and people hear what comes out of your voice, but it's like if that's all you thought about, you'd have nothing to play.
Yeah. I find that on the nights where I'm less conscious of all of it are the nights when I connect most.
Because you wake up with someone whose name you don't know.
No, that's not why, sir. That is not why.
Okay.
No. I'm talking about the performance right now. But
so am I.
But you raise a good point.
So did it.
So no, I feel like the
Pete is humor.
Damn, see, I can't be serious now after you say that kind of shit. It's I just spelt whiskey.
Whoa! Can we stop the podcast? We've never stopped the podcast before. Someone spilt whiskey.
Unbelievable! I want to lick it off the couch.
Security.
That can't be safe.
Okay.
So No, I feel. Honestly,
but yeah, because there's.
I feel like there. I mean, there is a mechanics to it, and I know all about the mechanics. And I find that when I try to manipulate the mechanics, are my worst nights. They're the nights that I feel the least appreciated, and the nights that I feel like I've done the worst job, and the nights that I just like let it happen. And get to that, what you call it, the butter place?
Yeah, have you ever had a moment where you giggled to yourself where you're like, I shouldn't, I'm completely, I left the building and I'm killing it. I'm rocking the place. Someone else is playing and singing right now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you're like completely conscious, like
those are $1 million moments.
There's another plane.
$1 million moments, man.
Yeah.
$1 million moments.
And it happens. And people who live a dreary, bitchy, monotonous life don't get that.
No, those moments are why I still do this, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, those moments are why I still do this.
All right, I want to play Whispers and Wishes.
Okay, I got to tell you about this song.
Okay, because exactly. I asked you, give me 3 songs with stories. So give me a story.
So Whispers and Wishes. It's a very emotional song about my first marriage breakup.
Yeah.
And it's about, the story is about...
By the way, I could hear you swallow right now.
I know, I swallowed really hard.
That was great.
God, that was really ugly.
Okay, I want the intern to note the timing on that.
Yeah, my first marriage, go!
Be a 5-second YouTube
clip. You should put some echo effects on that, actually. Go.
You don't need it. It was great.
Okay, so it's a really emotional song about that whole, you marry somebody and it's just so dreary and blah, blah, blah. So it's a really emotional song. And when we started recording it, it just wasn't feeling right in the studio.
Yeah.
And so Gerry and Matt, the producer, Matt Montour, I went to the beer store to grab some beer. And when I got back, Gerry and Matt said to me, hey, what do you think about changing the guitar line to this?
We fixed it for you.
Dude, and they played this like shuffly country thing. And I was like, that's fucking terrible. Yeah. What are you doing to my song? And then I sat down and went, no, actually, yes, I see your little twanging guitar.
And I raise you one.
And I raise you a human beatbox, and I'm going to call Hashy. And so Hashy the mouthpiece came in on this song.
Nice.
So we called Hashy in, and the guys were like, no, wait, no. We were thinking country. And I'm like, no. I'm thinking beatbox on this shit now that you brought this in. So we brought Hashy in, and it just made this song do this.
And it was born that night it was recorded.
Absolutely.
And you
so this is an emotional song with Hashy the mouthpiece, doing his beatbox.
And it's magic. And it's music. Magic. And that's why we love it here. Whispers and Wishes at barbershoppodcast.com.
Take comfort in knowing that the bread
I tell you, Barbershop Podcast has, what would you say, Ryan, the greatest musicians on the face of the earth?
Absolutely.
You know,
I don't hesitate to say
I
that
used to
at all.
say, like, you know, like the best guys in town. Then it would be like,
No,
you
the
know,
best guys on the planet.
on the
Can't say that.
planet. Like, fuck that. You know, it's like I look at like cities and I give them credit, be it New York or you know, Minneapolis or Austin. That's great, but fuck you. Sorry.
Hey, man. Yeah.
It's way better
your
here.
podcast.
No, seriously. I had to say fuck because frankly, we have to click the.
We got a lot of swearing.
Have we sworn?
already. Yeah. Yes.
Apparently, I didn't notice that.
No, we've got explicit content. Yes.
So we need to get our bounty of explicit
Yeah.
content.
We need to be able to check that box
because the kids like
explicit
that.
content.
Apparently, if
box.
it's not dirty, it's not cool.
Well, you know.
Well, when Family Guy had things about sodomy and fucking murder, you know, it's like, and they start playing it Sundays at 3:00 on Global. I'm like, yeah, it's over. So if you want to forge a show on a computer platform that allows you things that college radio and television will not allow, why not do it, right, Ryan?
Yeah.
And that involves whiskey. The intern's urinating. Who told the intern he could go pee?
I don't know.
There.
Wasn't me.
And did you ever go pee when you were an intern?
No.
No, it's not allowed. God. I mean, this stuff costs money. This should be totally paid for.
Right.
They should just sponsor the show.
They should.
And this will be a good, you know, ad campaign for them.
That's dead. I want to talk about truth and beauty. You're not
Truth
off
and
the
beauty.
hook.
Truth and beauty.
I got one.
No, as far as songwriting goes, right?
Yes, sir.
It's
Yeah.
like you're going to write, and
Yeah.
you're not going to write from a position of rubbing your hands together in a salacious Machiavellian manner. Like when you write, you're going to write from your pain, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
when you dig deep, how
Yeah.
cathartic is that?
Man. Well, as you know, as an independent musician, you can't afford therapy.
You know,
So my music is my therapy, and I mean that. It's not a joke. It's funny, but it's not a joke.
it's not a joke.
I find a great deal of catharsis in writing. I write about everything that I go through, and I write about everything that the people around me go through. Not everything is
Because you're not always in a hell spot, right? But your friends are.
right.
Someone is.
Yeah, absolutely. My preference.
Is empathy? Sorry, I need to cut in.
Yeah.
Is empathy required to be a songwriter? Because you can't always write from your own
Sure.
experience.
I was just going to say, I prefer to write from my own experience. I prefer to write from a place of either sheer like joy and bliss and gratification, or complete like
Misery.
misery. That's where I prefer to be. And so what I usually sort of do as a songwriter is try to put myself in those positions, unfortunately.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's not your decision, but your decision if you're going to mind that fucking torture, right?
Well, and here's the thing, though. Bono used to have this saying, and it's in a song. Every artist is a cannibal. Every poet is a thief. He kills for inspiration and sings about the grief.
Nice.
It's what I do. I know it's what I do, and so I'm a bit of a self-destructive individual
Because it produces.
because it produces songs.
Yeah.
You know, like if there isn't any drama in my life, I'll find it.
Yeah.
I'll seek it out somehow. And so that is both, and that's been all my life. It's not just because I discovered that it was the secret to writing good songs.
Yeah.
It's just how I've been my whole life.
Yeah, and it comes through. I've got to say, for someone who has had to embrace the new media, someone who's had to say,
Yep.
I'm a singer-songwriter, I do fucking music, this is my life. You've taken that thing and thrown it over your shoulders and run like some fucker in Iwo Jima who's going to blow out 2 to 3 pillboxes.
Man, absolutely.
You know, because what's the alternative?
There is no alternative for me.
No.
There's no alternative. I tried the alternative, and it was painful. But it created the kind of pain I couldn't write about,
Yeah.
and that's the problem, right? So, Yeah. I need to be in a place where I'm inspired. I need a muse.
Yeah.
I need
the next great drama.
Yeah, I need something. Yeah.
Let's talk about Hold On.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, this is a song that really grabbed me on the CD.
Yeah, Hold On.
So tell me about how that came together. Was it something that was torturous, or was it natural?
It was naturally torturous. That song is about it's about knowing that what you have at home is so much better than what you can find anywhere else.
Did it write itself quickly?
No, not really.
You knew the feeling, but you had to find the way to write
it. That song is really.
And it's hard to do it that way, isn't it? When you know, it's like, I have a mission to write. How do I do it?
The one thing I know about myself is that I need to have a place of stability and solace and truth. Right. I can't live without that. I can't write without that. I can't do anything without that. And then there's this other side of me which wants to do that other thing, which I just talked about, which is look for inspiration and kick something until it bleeds something for me. But I can't do this without knowing that at the end of it, I can go home. And so this song actually, you know what? Like, I didn't mean to write this song. This is another.
Sometimes they're the best.
Yeah, this is another one of those songs that Gerry and I wrote together. And it just, I don't know. I guess it was one of those songs that needed to happen at some point because I never admitted it. Yeah. And it's probably the most vulnerable song I've ever written.
And you're going to hear that. And I want you people who are listening to this tonight or later down the line to know this comes from a very tender spot. And the reason you feel something is because it came from something. And you get to hear it here. Hold On. Ghosts of Memphis on barbershoppodcast.com.
Have some more 40 Creek.
Feet on ground and stars overhead. I am bound for your bed, and though I've been gone for so long, you always know that I'd come home. So baby, hold on. Oh, baby, hold on. Baby, hold neon round and heart in my head, lost is found. Here I am, and though I've been gone for so long, you've always known that I'd come home, So baby, hold on. Oh, baby, hold on. Baby, hold on. 'Cause I am a man of two minds, and though I am trying, I'm starting to slide.
Another beautiful song. From Trevor Howard, who's here at barbershoppodcast.com, what I like to call the best damn podcast in the world.
Yeah, for sure.
Ryan, like, do you
It's
have a
one of
problem with
them.
that?
No.
At the very least, we totally believe in it. We believe in Hamilton music.
You know what? It's the best fucking podcast out of Hamilton
Yeah,
that I've
give it
heard.
that much.
There might be a couple I haven't heard of.
You know,
but,
there's a lot of this, but there's a lot less actually doing it. And the people who come here walk out of here and go, "That was the best interview I had. You guys are great," and we'd like to think so.
Yeah,
I feel good.
Yeah.
we make a comfortable environment.
You know what? And we do
Booze
the best.
helps.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
Booze help. How many millions of years has booze helped?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to get a live performance from. Actually, we're going to get two. I'm going to get Trev to do two in a row because he sounded so damn good sitting in the corner of the barbershop, and he's going to play live for you. And just because you think "fuck, that's great," doesn't mean you did your fucking. It's like pushing like on Facebook. That doesn't do anything. Go to a club, buy a CD. Seriously, you make his life better, and trust me.
Except for the Barbershop Podcast Facebook page, then the likes count.
Yeah, go
those
to
you can
Barbershop
like,
Podcast.
yes.
They won't kill
Yeah.
you. Like,
But the other likes don't count.
200 likes. Like every week,
Yeah.
there's like
But for our page,
4
yes,
times as
those
many
likes
people
count.
watch the show. Can you go to the Facebook page and like it? It's at 186. 14 more people. Someone's going to be number 200.
We got to do a promotion. We got to do some sort of promotion.
Fuck them.
Once we get to 200, you'll do something interesting on video. We'll talk about it after.
Yeah, I'm not going to go there.
All right.
But where I am going to go is Trevor Howard Live here at barbershoppodcast.com.
What do you do when nothing's right? When all that's left is a losing fight? Your bronze drunk love has dealt its final blow. What do you say when nothing's left? When love that's blind soon turns deaf? You're choking on the words stuck in your throat. Baby, take my mind off of this mess. Put on Johnny Cash and I'll take off your dress. You love me tonight, maybe everything will be alright. What do you do with a heart of stone, estranged from flesh and blood and bone, pumping whiskey through a failure's veins? What do you do when she's giving up just one last drink from this poisoned cup? I'd swallow the bitter swill of what remains. Yeah! Baby, take my mind off of this mess. I've been up Johnny Cash and I'll take off your dress. If you love me tonight, maybe everything will be alright. Baby, take my mind off of this mess. I put on Johnny Cash and I'll take off that dress. If you love me tonight, maybe everything will be alright. If you love me tonight, maybe everything will be alright. If you love me tonight, maybe everything will be alright.
Ooh, yeah.
Thank you.
No, and I know you're all fired up because you got us gobsmacked. So play another one. This is going to be your last one. Play the one that the people are going to go, you know, next time I open up a View magazine or Hamilton Spectator and I see Trevor Howard's name, I'm going to fucking go.
Okay. This is a song called Rails. It's not about trains.
Or cocaine. He didn't say no.
I just said it's not about trains. And we co-wrote this song with Brian Byrne from I Mother Earth. It's on the record. And he sings on it too. It's called Rails. There's no one left to blame for taking this old train off the rail. I've engineered this train. I seem to lost my grip. The engines fail. I know I've let you down, but I know in time I will come around. Got the right to walk away. I can't make you stay now, but I still need you, baby. 'Cause I've seen you when I'm down, and I always come around. Believe me, but I know in time that I will come around, yeah. Well, I sit here all alone now, baby, just staring at the wall. Wishing you were here. Well, I know I've let you down, but that I will come around, yeah. Well, I know I've let you down, but I know in time that I will come around. I know I've let you down, but I know I'll be back on track again. back on track again.
We're lucky, and you're lucky to have a little bit of Trevor Howard here in your ears tonight. Thank you so much, Trev, for coming in, playing and like rocking our world. Ryan, you know, as an engineer, as someone who records this kind of crapola magic, how good was Trev tonight?
That was amazing. That's honestly, that's one of the best performances we've had on the show. That really is. I'm definitely going to be listening to some of your stuff for sure. I'm going to be putting your disc
and
on my
we're
iPod.
cynical, sarcastic bastards. We are.
I got that from you.
We are. But it's like, you know what? It's like, you know, the time I saw you live, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I like the fact that he pushes the, you know, but the environment was not allowing. Do you feel that there's a need for more soft seaters where people need to sit and listen to music and they're not there just to get drunk?
Yeah, man. There's been such a, like, you can go anywhere. I mean, you could go to a mucho burrito on a Friday night and there'll be live music. And not that I don't love that there's live music,
but there shouldn't be background music.
It's just been so homogenized that it gets so frustrating that when people come to hear live music, they expect something different than what I think we should be giving sometimes. And so that creates a little bit of a tension between the listener and the giver.
Yes.
Right? Because they have this expectation that they can just like show up at like
11:30.
You know, like some live like sports venue where they play volleyball, and in between there's a guy playing, you know, like shitty
bad music
covers over in the corner. And so there's a great deal of expectation with live music.
Yeah.
That is a bit frustrating these days. Because, I mean, like I said, like Mucho Burrito will have live music on Friday nights, and that doesn't make sense.
And it sucks when you play live music because you have to scrap for whatever venue will allow you to play live music.
Absolutely, okay. Yeah.
Well, if you can actually hear it and you can actually get out, see Trev, see Ghosts of Memphis.
Please do.
Anyone who's on Barbershop Podcast, trust me, there's someone you want to enrich your life. Trev, I'm so glad you made it out and came tonight. Ryan,
I love you, man. Thank you.
It was wonderful as usual.
Yes.
Jordan, first night survived.
Yeah, he made through
now
the
he has
podcast.
Now he has to learn how to do all this shitty stuff at the end of the night.
He got to watch this one. Yeah, next week he gets to work. Next week's Black Oz, right?
Yeah.
Next week, I'm going to be on the couch.
That's right.
So
Ryan's going to be on the couch.
Jordan's going to be running the show. I'm going to be on the couch.
I like it.
Yeah. We're going to play some Aussie, some acoustic. We don't know yet.
We don't know
figured
yet.
it out. We're going to try to play some acoustic Aussie.
Why not?
Yeah, we'll play Planet Caravan if nothing else.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
It's going to be,
it's going to be great.
49 weeks it took me to get on the fucking couch, but yeah.
Usually couch time is much easier but more expensive. Here, it's free.
Yeah.
And thank you for coming to Barbershop Podcast this week. Next week, as we said,
Thank you,
Black
guys.
Oz, Trevor Howard this week.
Yes,
amazing
thanks,
guest.
Trevor.
Thank you, guys.
Everyone, thank you for watching. BarbershopPodcast.com. Thanks for coming out.